We're doing it live. All right, everyone. Welcome. It is August 26th. It's Parlay Friday. I'm Steve Armato with my co-host Anthony UCONN, and we've made it. We have made it through the summer. The dog days are almost over. College football starts tomorrow. So we're here. We've gotten through it, and it's the first football Parlay Friday, almost like a football frenzy, I would call it. So, Ant, how you doing? How we feeling over there?
Doing great, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Going to let the audience know now, I'm not the biggest college football guy, probably not the biggest college football bettor. So all season long, I'll most likely have a lot more NFL than I will college. But definitely great to have football. Any kind of football is better than no football for sure. So, yeah, let's welcome it in.
That voice, man. You all right over there? You got to drink some water. Were you okay?
Been struggling lately. We've been having a little sore throat over the past week or so, but we'll get better.
This guy's been working from home for 2 weeks. It's unbelievable. No, I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, we're going to start today. We've been going through all our divisions. We're going to do NFC East today. NFC East Futures. Where's the value? We will start Cowgirls plus 145, Eagles plus 155, Commanders plus 500, and the Giants plus 750. All around here, awful. I hate all of them, but I mean, I don't know. What do you like? Who do you like? What do you like about the division? Do you think like the Giants or Commanders have any chance of surprising anyone? I don't. I'll just say that right now. But yeah, I don't know how you feel here.
Oh yeah, not a chance in hell for the Giants or the Commanders. Either team, just both really, really just not good up to snuff football teams. It's going to be a two-team race. I mean, for right now, you look at the Eagles, and the value kind of has to be on the Eagles. The Cowboys just lost their top offensive lineman in Tyrone Smith yesterday. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. Michael Gallup, we don't know how long he is out for. So they don't have a great line to protect Dak and Zeke like they've been for the past 4 or 5 years. CeeDee Lamb's a stud, but outside of him, you have Dalton Schultz. But I really don't like this Cowboys team all that much. And the Phillies, I mean, they kind of beefed it up in the offseason. When you go get
Phillies?
Phillies, wow. Eagles. The Eagles beefed it up in the offseason. When you get a guy like A.J. Brown to add to the mix, Devontae Smith year 2, Dallas Goedert, I mean, this team has all the makings to be maybe not a Super Bowl contender, but they'll definitely compete in all their games that they play. And in this weak division against Dallas, the value right now is probably on the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Dallas. I don't love that setup that they have over there. I don't know what it is about them, but I say that almost every year, and then they kind of win a lot of games, but they always find the way to collapse, it feels like. Also, hot note here, hot hat tip, whatever you want to call it. Nobody's won the NFC East back-to-back in quite some time. So that's one thing going against the Cowboys here. So yeah, like you could cross the Giants and the Commanders off this list, leave it to Eagles, Cowboys. Do I trust Jalen Hurts as much as I trust Dak? No. Hurts is the king of garbage time. Like if you look at his stats, great fantasy QB. He cleaned up last year in games that the Eagles were down late, and he'd just go down against prevent defenses and pad his stats a little bit. But it's put up or shut up time for him. Okay, so they added A.J. Brown. They still have Devonta Smith. Goedert's the tight end. And then their running back situation is what it is, but it's not really. I don't hate Miles Sanders. A lot of people kind of hate on him. I think if he stays healthy, he's actually a very good option back there. No, but he's just got to stay healthy. I'm feeling like everybody's hot on the Eagles this year, though. They did go to the playoffs last year. I know they got smoked by the Bucs in that first round game. I think the value's on the Eagles, but there's also value on the Cowboys. I would go Eagles. I'd lean Eagles just because nobody's won the division back-to-back in a while. I don't think this division is very good. I don't think any of these teams are that good. I don't think any of these teams are going to be Super Bowl contenders. But if I had a gun to my head, I will go Eagles plus 155 to win the NFC East.
At the end of the day, to me, honestly, it's a 50-50 crapshoot between it's one of the two teams that are going to win it. So to me, you might as well take a team with a little bit better value at the plus 155 for the Eagles. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's either the Cowboys or the Eagles. You're wasting your money if you're even thinking about the Commanders or the Giants. Just take that money and just spend it on something else. You know, buy your significant other a nice gift or something, because it's way better off than putting money on the Commanders or the Giants. So
I mean, who's putting money? Like honestly, Why are you going to put money on Daniel Jones or Carson Wentz?
Correct.
There's just it just doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for you to do that. So that's what it is. What it is. All right, let's get into our best bets, baby. We got, this week's show is gonna be a little shorter than most. A lot of things going on the last couple weeks, so apologies. Next week's gonna be a pre-recorded one, most likely, because I got to fly to Chicago for a wedding. Shout out Dre and John. So let's start best bets here. We're both not. This is first time, long time. We're both not going baseball with best bets, so we're not in the MLB here. What are you going with for your best bet this weekend?
Yep, if I gave the audience like 3-4 guesses, they'd probably be wrong on all the sports. We're going Italian Serie A soccer, or Serie A football, as they like to call it in Europe. We're taking Juventus on the money line at plus 135, taking on AS Roma. Listen, Juventus is a powerhouse in Italian soccer. Every year, they're just the best team. I mean, they made some moves in the offseason, got guys like Paul Pogba, Angel Di Maria. So some stud, big names taking on AS Roma, who's 2-0 right now. So we're just taking advantage simply of the fact that AS Roma is 2-0 and they're in first place, even though Juventus is probably the better team. So at plus 135, just a ton of value. Juventus has 1 win and 1 draw right now in the first 2 games of the year. So given that it's against the tie for first place team in AS Roma, we're going Juventus on the money line at plus 135. Probably not going to have their value again for the rest of the year. So let's ride with some Italian soccer.
By the way, the euro is officially less than $1, so we could call it soccer now. It's not football anymore. But all right. I mean, yeah, why not? Let's go. Let's get a little Serie A. I know nothing about either team. I guess that's a good way. Take advantage of the team being 2-0 and they're not as good. So I like where your head's at. Maybe I'll do a little sprinklage on that. I'm in Europe as well here. Weirdly, even though it's college football, I'll be in Europe on this one. So I'm going to Ireland for Nebraska and Northwestern. And we are going under 50.5. This is at minus 110. So I know that in last year's matchup, Nebraska hung 50 on Northwestern. The final was 50-7. That was a year ago. And now these two teams are flying across the Atlantic to go to Ireland to play this game. You got college kids in a different country, in a different time zone for the first time in their lives. I'm not really expecting them to come out to a flying start here. That's one. Two, I don't know why these two teams are playing in Ireland. Like, why isn't Notre Dame playing in Ireland? I guess that's besides the point. These teams are like, what Illinois, Nebraska, like we're a couple hour flight away here. We both got to go to Ireland to play this game. I don't know what the point is. Anyway, we're going under 50.5. I'm taking into account college kids flying to Europe, playing in damp. It's going to be damp. Because it's in Ireland. It's going to be like mid 60s, maybe low 60s. Seems like a lot of people are high on Nebraska this year. Everybody's like, I'm taking them minus 13. That line's moved to minus 11.5, by the way. But either way, I'm not expecting them to light up the scoreboard in this one. First game, I think Northwestern is going to actually, you got smoked 50-7 a year ago. You're probably going to come out playing better football. You're probably making adjustments. I'm expecting lower scoring, so under 50.5. Let's ride on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, give you some crazy analysis because, to be honest, I probably couldn't name more than 3 players or maybe not even one on either of these two teams. But I do like the points that you bring up. You're traveling, how many hours is your flight to go all the way to Ireland, which makes no sense for a college football week 0 game. But hey, more the merrier. All the credit to you. Yeah, it could be a slow start. So I like the under. I don't know. Do they do first half unders in football? Like
yeah,
baseball?
they do. Yeah, they do first half unders.
That could be something to look into.
Look at the first half under. Let's look at the first half under.
I mean, think about it. These kids be hitting Irish local bars the night before and just drinking with the locals that can just absolutely pound them out of the water. So
I mean, that could be a problem, honestly. But they probably have strict curfews here.
Yeah,
Let's see what we got.
You like the third string QB, like
first half 26.5.
That's a lot of points.
I'd go under that too.
For first half, that's a lot of points.
26.5. You're talking. You need 2 touchdowns from each team.
Yeah, that's
with the extra points,
right?
Which is not a gimme in college. College kickers are not up to snuff as they as they say.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I like that too. All right, so best bet's going to be full game 50.5 under. And I'm going under first half under 26.5. That's at minus 108. Better value on the first half under. Look at that.
I'll take that with you. I like that. We kind of just spoke ourselves right into it right there.
There we go. We're going unders, baby. I mean, let's go college football under. Like, usually you don't take the under in college football, but in this case we are. All right. Let's move it to why we're all here. As always, I say this every week. It's Parlay Friday. So we have some banger parlays. Let's get it going. And what are we looking at here?
Calling this week the multi-sampler parlay. You get these odds at plus 394, and we will kick it off with the over 9 runs in the Phillies against the Pirates tonight. We have two really bad pitchers, as it's Bryce Wilson going for the Pirates and his 5.74 ERA, taking on Bailey Falter with his 4.40 ERA. Phillies, one of the hottest teams in baseball, getting their best player back in Bryce Harper tonight. I think that's going to electrify this lineup. They might even get to this 9 themselves. You add a couple runs from the Pirates because Bailey Falter's not throwing shutout baseball. We should hopefully get to the 10. Moving on, we're going Mets first 5, -0.5. Chris Bassett taking on Chad Kuhl. Chad Kuhl, not very good on the road. His 6.08 road ERA. Alonso put one out last night. We need the Mets bats to get going a little more through the first 5. I like the Mets early in this one. And then we're doing a nerfy in the Guardians against the Mariners tonight. We have Shane Bieber taking on Logan Gilbert. Bieber's been very hot, giving up just 4 earned runs in his last 5 starts. And then for Gilbert, in his last 2 starts, he's been solid, hasn't given up a run until at least the 4th inning. So the Guardians offense, they are top heavy, but they only scored 1 run last night. So we just need them to get through the first inning. And like I said, you get these odds at plus 394.
It's pretty good. The only thing I don't like, not that I don't like it, I think it just scares me, is that you got to rely on the Pirates offense to do a little bit.
It's Bailey Falter. So
I know, but every time I got burned by the Pirates many a time this year just because of their offense. Like I took an over 8.5 and they lost 7-0. Like they gave me nothing. So sometimes they just don't give you anything. But it is Bailey Falter. You need the Phillies you probably need the Phillies to go for like 7 or 8 rounds.
Like 6, 7, yeah.
All right. So okay, but that's fine. I like that. I like that pick. I'm going a bit juicier though. This is called the Dog Days of Summer Parlay because the Dog Days of Summer are officially over. And here we go. This is plus 1353. We got Cubs on the money line tonight. We're riding Justin Steele. Then Braves on the money line tonight. We're riding Spencer Strider. Then we are going back to college football. Nebraska -11.5 and Utah State -26.5 against UConn. All right. So a little bit of baseball here. Underdog Cubs against the Brewers. If you've paid any attention to Justin Steele, guy has been an absolute stud since the All-Star break, pretty much. So tremendous value on the Cubbies tonight. Then the Braves, I'm riding Spencer Strider. Braves Cards, 2 hottest teams in baseball right now, but I like the Braves a little bit better because Spencer Strider is a righty, and the Cardinals really do their damage against left-handed pitching. So I really like the Braves tonight. Then Nebraska -11.5. I like the line movement might scare some people out of this, but I don't think Northwestern's really going to score many points. I don't think Nebraska's going to score a ton of points, but I'm thinking like more of like a 24-7 type game here. So I think they're going to cover this 11.5. And then finally, Utah State, baby, -26.5 against UConn. UConn has been one of the worst teams in college football over the past few years. Like you see spreads and you think, oh, this is too high. UConn will definitely cover. They don't cover because they stink. They have no recruits. They're terrible. I'm sorry. So Utah State can score points. Utah State can score points in bunches here. UConn is not going to be able to keep up. That 26.5 is going to be easy. You're gonna call me on Monday and be like, Steve, that Utah State won by like 50. This is going to be crazy. So your Cubs money line, Braves money line, Nebraska -11.5, Utah State -26.5. You put it all together, plus 1353. Dog Days of Summer Parlay. There we go.
Love it, man. I mean, listen, anytime you're plus over 1,000, obviously there's going to be some risk involved. I mean, the Cubs definitely
a lot of risk involved.
There's a lot of risk involved here. The 26.5, I love. Listen, there's a reason the team is 26.5 point favorites. That's because one team is good and the other team is horrendous. Those odds, we see them with like teams like Alabama all the time, and they always wind up covering those monster spreads, especially. Are they home Utah State? I don't even know.
I think they are, but let me hold on. I'll look at that again. I'm pretty sure they're home. I don't even care if they're home because last year on opening weekend, no, Utah State is home. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. They're minus 3,500 on the money line.
Yeah, no, there's a reason for that. So yeah,
Like,
you'll be fine with that one. It's the Cubs are a little bit risky against Freddie Peralta, but he's not that good, so you'd be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the thing is the big spreads like that last year, UConn hosted Fresno State opening weekend, and the spread was like 27.5, and Fresno State was up 28-0 at halftime. So like it's like also you should look at a good bet to look at when you got to get it's those. This is actually probably one of those good ones to look at. If you could get a 13.5 over first quarter for a good team against a bad team.
Yeah.
Because you probably, if it's a really good team against a really bad team, the good team's probably getting 3 possessions, and then they're probably going to score touchdowns on 2 of them. So
right. Yeah. 3 and out. They'll get the ball back in like 25 seconds. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm probably going to do with Ohio State and Notre Dame next week because Ohio State is going to beat Notre Dame into the ground. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's it. That's what we got. The big spreads, college football big spreads. Don't shy away from the big spreads, folks. Like that.
Right.
There's no reason to shy away. There's a reason the spreads are that big. It's because they know. They know. Also, side note about Utah State. 2 guys, you heard about this. 2 guys from New Jersey got like hammered either in Vegas or Atlantic City. I think it was Vegas. I was reading this article the other day. They placed plus 10,000. They placed $1,000 bet on Utah State to win the national title. They placed $2,000 bets on Utah State to win the national title.
Yeah, that $1,000 is gone. I hope they. I hope
a lot needs to happen in that scenario, right? Like, first of all, they need to go undefeated. That's one. Second of all, they're at like the mercy of like a committee of people to actually put them in a playoff over other Power 5 teams.
Correct.
Oh wait, I think it's because hold on. Before we get out of here, I need to look at this. I think it's because they play Alabama, I think.
The only justifiable reason for that was they were killing it on the blackjack table or the roulette table. They probably put like $1,000 on like number 7, and number 7 came out, and they had a lot of money to burn, especially just $1,000 they had to burn they're just completely psychopathic.
I think they got hammered and because next week they play Alabama in Alabama.
All right, well, guess what?
Alabama is currently a 39-point favorite.
So their $1,000 will be gone by next week.
So if Alabama is a 39-point favorite against Utah State, and Utah State is a 26.5-point favorite against UConn,
minus 107.
Yeah, like what would Alabama be favored against UConn?
Might be the first minus triple digit ever on the spread.
It's got to be at least 70.5.
At least 7, maybe 75, if not 80.
That's a big number.
That's absurd. I mean, they're 40 on. Oh my goodness, 40 and
39 on Utah State.
Yeah, that's at least 70s, if not 75.
Maybe we take Utah State to cover.
We might have to. Or we
40 points is a lot.
Maybe these guys know something. We take them to win at plus 1,000 on the money line.
See, I don't know if that's out yet. Let's see. I mean, it's definitely out yet on FanDuel. Let's look.
Throw a little sprinklage on there. Now I have to after seeing what these psychopaths.
But it's in Alabama though.
Listen,
if it was neutral field, I'd be like, all right, maybe.
If you're gonna get Alabama, the probably best shot is maybe right now. Well, they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, when you see them in like late October, early November, mid-November, that's when they're like just unbeatable.
They're plus 8,000.
Yeah, we're gonna throw like $5 on
Alabama is minus 20,000.
What's $10 on? What's $10 on Utah State?
$10 on Utah State is $800.
Yeah,
$10 on Utah State is $800. Oh my!
People know.
I mean, I'm telling you right now. I'm looking at the board for next week. I'm 100% taking Ohio State at minus 15.5 against Notre Dame. They're playing Notre Dame. I know. No, I'm definitely taking that. There's no way I'm not. This is a pretty decent board here. Wow, Houston's only a 5-point favorite against UTSA. That's not good. Cincinnati and Arkansas. Oh, it's a good one. I don't know. There's a lot of good games here. Utah, Florida. That's the big one. Utah, Florida next week.
Utah's like number 6 in the nation this year. They're gonna be.
I know.
They're supposed to be.
They're going to the swamp. They're going to the swamp. -2.5. Utah's favored in the swamp. I want to see where that line moves. If that line moves to like 1.5 or 1, we might have to just go Florida there on the money line. We'll see. I don't know.
A lot to ponder over the next week.
A lot to ponder over the next week. All right, everyone. That's going to be it for this week's version of Parlay Friday, the NFC East preview. Everyone, don't forget to go to itsparlayfriday.com. Grab some Big Risk Energy t-shirts. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts. For Anthony UCONN, I'm Steve Armato. And remember, if you want to be a man at night, you got to be a man in the morning. We will see you next week.